Sure, I thought he was tall. Oh, because Mr. Yeah, get down. Sit on the edge of the table there.
In Tucson, Arizona.
Jay, take your hat off.
Bring your what? Go. Yeah. Isn't that great? Yeah, what if you hadn't told me?
Wait a minute.
Take them out of the box and give them.
I took one before. I'll wait.
There you go. Got it.
I think we're ready to begin. With the absence of any microphones, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you to the mayor of Tucson, Mayor George Miller, and he has a proclamation to read and some presentations to make to the Sons of the Dale Warren, the Sons of the Pioneers, and to Roy and Dale. Mayor George Miller.
Thank you very much. I just want to, before I read the proclamation, I want to make the point that the city of Tucson has been very fortunate to have the Western Music Association here in town. For the five decided to come, and we're looking forward to you coming back next year and the years afterwards. And here's a proclamation from the city of Tucson. Whereas no musical group in the history of the United States has had more influence upon the music of America than the Sons of the Pioneer, and whereas for 60 years they've continuously performed and delivered through their music the message of America from its earliest history to the present, and whereas the Sons of Pioneer have experienced many firsts and won many awards through the years by becoming the first Western group to appear at Carnegie Hall in New York City in 1951, to being inducted into the Gene Autry Museum Singing Cowboys Hall of Fame in 1992, and whereas on Monday, November the 14th, 1994, the citizens of Tucson will have an opportunity to pay tribute to past and present members of the Sons of Pioneers at the conclusion of the Western Music Association's annual 4-day festival here in Tucson at a special tribute at the University of Arizona's Centennial Hall. Now therefore I, George Miller, Mayor of the City of Tucson, Arizona, in honor of the Sons of the Pioneers' 60th anniversary, do hereby proclaim November the 14th, 1994 to be the Sons of the Pioneer Days in this community, and encourage all of our citizens to attend the activities of the Western Music Association 4-day festival, and thank the Sons of Pioneers for bringing joy, passion, laughter, and edification into the lives of their audience. Dale Warren is the head of the Sons of Pioneer. I'd like to present this to you, as well as to acknowledge the 11
All the Sons of the Pioneers, the past, the present, the future, like to thank the city of Tucson for this honor. We'd like to thank you, Mayor, for claiming this day, Sons of the Pioneers Day. And it's a moment that we'll always cherish. Thank you very, very much.
This is kind of silly. Your wife asked you to say something. I've been invited to come over here. We started, and I'm sorry I couldn't make it. There's always something because having children for long and things like that. All I get done is children. This is good something that somebody do with children. And thank God we got a chance to come this time and be with the Sons of the Pioneers because I started the Sons of the Pioneers back in 1932. There's 60 years you're talking about this. We started out with other groups and we got together and formed the Sons of the Pioneers. We became from the Pioneer Trio and became the Sons of the Pioneers. And a lot of you probably wonder how we got the name. We were doing a show on KFWB, one of our stations, and an announcer. We call ourselves the Pioneer Trio. And the announcer said, the speaker, he spoke out, he said, tell you guys, you don't to be pioneers. Why don't you call yourself the Sons of the Pioneers? So that's how it happened. And I'm glad to be here with you guys. And I'm sorry that we lost so many of them down through the years. But I'm the only one of the original group left, and I thank God for that. And I thank him also for a wonderful lady and a wonderful family. We have 16 grandchildren. We had 12 by the we had 9 children, but we lost 3 of them, like all families. We had us here at Ratchet. We still got 6 great kids, they're all married. We got 16 grandchildren. And
next spring will be 30 great grandchildren.
Well, 27, we got 28 great grandchildren. And 2 in the oven. We do have so much to be thankful for. The success of the show business is one of the greatest parts of business. This business. Cowboys. That was a wonderful. They have all over the country. I can't say it. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. Thank you. I probably never would have been where I'm at today if I hadn't met this lovely lady back a few weeks ago. This coming New Year's Eve, we will be married 47 years. So.
I want to thank you so much for being here for us and for the pioneers particularly. I go a long way back for the Sons of the Pioneers. I knew the Sons of the Pioneers when the fellow that was with them was named Leonard Sly. Way back in Dallas, Texas, in 1936 at the Centennial. And I had never heard music like that in my life. Just wonderful. Pioneers' music was so pure. So melodic that when they sang, you could almost see the ponies running across the prairie. Wonderful, wonderful group, and really Americana. And I love Tucson. I used to say when I was a child, I'm a Texan, you know how Texans are. And I used to say that when I got real old, that I was going to move to San Antonio and retire. Now I've changed it to Tucson. Thank you so much.
And, I have one announcement. After this is over, we're going to have a song right now from the Tucson, Arizona Boys Chorus, and they're going to sing a very familiar song. And after they are finished with that song, we invite the certified press to go up on the mezzanine to Plaza West, where there will be some personal interviews, and you'll have a chance to do it. Just the press. And we appreciate the mayor being here, Dale, Sons of the Pioneers, Rex Allen, Roy and Dale. This is really wonderful to conclude a fantastic week of Western music. And I introduce to you now the Tucson, Arizona Boys Chorus. Roy, one more kiss.
Try and get in here.
Thank you.
You read the number in there? Whatever number it's on. Okay. Careful now, center 'em. Put it around here. All right, center 'em good. I thought I saw him before. Was he there when they first walked in? Did you wear glasses?
Is it ready to go?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You gotta think what you paper.
Where's Deanna?
Yeah, boy.
Get their names to the president.
We might need someone in the future. We thank you for coming. Like I said, those certified press are invited up to Plaza West, and we want everybody to kind of give room as Roy and Dale and the pioneers are escorted to those areas where the press can get some additional pictures and perhaps some interviews. Thank you, City of Tucson. Thank you, Tucson, Arizona Boys Chorus. And thank you for a wonderful week of Western music. Thank you.
Well, I'm wearing it now. I'll do anything to look good. That's right. It'll prove not to
Is it going to be all right? I'm going to have to stand up. Okay.
Excuse me, if anybody needs to set up tape recorders, you're welcome to do so right now, and we'll get the press conference started in just a minute.
All the TV guys see the 790 here?
Yeah, I saw that. Say that I'm sure that the press is aware that we are concluding a 5-day festival tonight at Centennial Hall at the University of Arizona, concluding a 5-day festival of Western music, the Western Music Festival. This is our 6th year, and we've been in Tucson for just about every one of those years. And it wouldn't have been fitting to not have our Western Music Association's festival honor 60 years of continuous entertainment to the people of the world by the Sons of the Pioneers. As I said in the program that had a precedent message from me, I'm Hal Spencer, president of the Western Music Association, completing my 3rd-year term. I was almost there when it all started. The group officially started in 1934, and I was born in 1936, but I was there enough to know at the very first years that my dad was gone a long time, and he was with some cowboy singing group somewhere, and then there would be the times that they would return from tour in this old DeSoto, I don't know what they called it. A DeSoto, it was almost like an extended car with a rack on the top, and they had their luggage up there, and they would come back, they would be tired, they'd be broke sometimes, they'd be exhausted, and but they would have a tremendous, it was like a satisfaction because they were seeing some dreams come true that had started with Roy Rogers and Bob Nolan and Tim Spencer and some of the other members of the Sons of the Pioneers, a dream that someday they could be a singing cowboy and maybe be in a group or be part of a group that would go on and become famous. Well, as a little boy, I watched them live out their dreams. They saw their dreams come true, and I saw their dreams come true as I grew up. The group changed over the years. There were some disappointments. I remember as in my teens later on, or early teens, some disappointments when Roy left the group to become the king of the cowboys. But and when Bob Nolan left and Tim Spencer left, there were some disappointments. But they went on and had successful careers. But the disappointments were quickly forgotten when they were replaced by such greats as, you know, Ken Carson and Ken Curtis and Dale Warren, and then Tommy Doss, and came on. And there's been some changes over the years. Some people have left, some have been there for just a while, but they've never stopped. They've always been there for 60 years. Always been there, pleasing the audiences of America with pure cowboy Western music. And Dale Warren, for the last 41 years and 9 months, now becomes the longest member of the Sons of the Pioneers. Lloyd Perriman had been a member for 41 years and 8 months. But as of today, this day, November the 14th, it's 41 years and 9 months. And we're going to have a plaque for a lot of people tonight at the tribute concert. And I'm personally going to give Dale Warren a plaque acknowledging his leadership. It hasn't been easy, and I'm not meaning to get dramatic. It hasn't been easy to lead a group for 41 years, or to be a part and then take over the leadership of the group when they're always talking about Roy Rogers and Tim Spencer and Bob Nolan and things like that. You know, and that's great. They had their wonderful days, and they started that group. But Dale Warren has kept this group together, working and appearing before the audiences of America. And I just got to hand it to you, Dale. And there has not been a lull, okay? Not a lull. There's never been a time when they said, what do you think we ought to do? It's only, when are we going to sing tonight, or when are we going to sing tomorrow? And so I would like to introduce where we're going to eat tomorrow. One little story for the press, and this is a story that I heard when I was a little boy. Roy and my father and Bob were traveling, and they were broke. This is when they were the Pioneer Trio, and they weren't sure that they were going to continue because it was tough out on the road. But they developed and they discovered an idea, because somebody did come up and bring them some chicken one night at a concert, maybe in New Mexico, maybe Texas. My mother was one of them. She was 17 years old. Well, they got on the radio the next day, and they said, we want to thank Velma Blanton and her mother for bringing over the fried chicken after the concert last night, or after the radio broadcast. Well, the next night, there was all kinds of fried chicken, and pies and cakes and everything like that. So they just start doing it all the time. They'd go into a town before they'd even get a chance. They'd say it on the radio. We appreciate all the pies and cakes and fried chicken we got last night.
Good eat money.
So right now, so that the press will understand who everybody is, I'm going... Hello.
Surprise.
The Riders in the Sky just came in. Dale Warren, I would like for you to make the introductions to everybody, because I want to make sure that correct names and
Let's see. I got to check my memory. I can start right over here, go down the line. Well, right here is Roy Warhurst. In 1953, when we went up to Canada, we toured all over Canada. Roy was playing with a group called Sons of the Saddle. He was 18 years old. And I was there, Hugh Farr and Carl and Lloyd Perryman, Deuce Spriggans, and Tommy Doss. We were the Sons of the Pioneers. And we toured with the Sons of the Saddle. And Hugh Farr kind of took him under his wing, because here's one of the finest fiddlers in the country today. And Hugh says, young man, he says, if you keep on playing the fiddle like you are now and do what I tell you, you'll go a long way. Yeah, this is Roy Warhurst. Here's a fellow right here. In his actions and everything, he's a replica of Pat Brady. But I've been associated with Sonny Spencer for over 50 years. We used to work together when we were kids, before we ever went to California. And he's been with some great groups throughout his career. Harry, guitar player. And we've only had 3 lead guitar players in 60 years. The first one was Carl Farr. Carl passed away in 62. And then Roy Lanham was with us for many, many years. And Roy left us about 12 years ago. And Gary took over his place, so we've only had 3 guitar players, lead guitars, in 60 years. Carl, Roy, and now here's the third one, Gary LeMaster. And here's a real good buddy I've known for a long time. He's been with the Sons of the Pioneers 26 years. And he's from Beaumont, Texas. And he plays everything too, and that happens to be Luther Nally. Standing next to him, I guess you might see the resemblance. I'll tell you a little story. I knew it would take 60 years to do it, but I knew one day it may happen, and it sure did. And I can truthfully say now that he's the son of a pioneer. He is Luther Nally's son, John Nally. We worked with him for many, many, many years. Well, the other pioneers on Dr. Pepper's show, we worked and we did a lot of the things we used to sing for the armed services. And I'd like to have you Rex Allen to take the bow.
Also, I would like to complete the rest of the introductions, which is going to be, and I'm going to turn it over now to our press secretary.
And you'll be able to talk to any of the folks up here. Afterwards, we're going to set up some photos.
Of Trigger that he owns, and he claims the horse has really quite a wide, mean streak. Does that surprise you, and have you talked to him about that?
No, I told him about it when he got it.
He told me that was the meanest horse he'd ever seen.
There's certain horse things you can do with a horse like that you can't do with another. So whoever started him out didn't do it right. You can't fight a horse like that. You got to play with him easy. Well, I never trained him, so I don't know whether that was it or not. But I think it was.
And so,
Because he is a tired dam with both of them very quiet.
and so is he throwback to something that was in Trigger, or is he?
Yeah, he was out of a mirror that by Trigger.
Roy, when you started out 60 years ago or so, did you have any idea more than half a century later you'd be sitting here saying, you know, what a good idea we had?
60 years ago? I didn't
What they
know
tell me.
I'd be here at all. Well, I was very fortunate to come along at the time I did during the Depression. Everything was hungry outside, I'm telling you. I started out like, boy, I got me a contract at $75 a week. That's more money than I'd ever heard of back in 1937. And I was there for 14 years, and television came in, and I got out, had to re-sign my contract with television. But it's my whole career in picture business and my personal career has been wonderful. And this one was beside me. And we have a wonderful family, as I told you earlier. Children of 16 years, 27 grandchildren, 28 again. I'm so fast I'm going to have to have them. Especially when the kids is calling. Tell them what the cause is. Anyway, it's I can't say enough for it. I've enjoyed every minute of it. My first picture, I never had the opportunity to get any training in acting, or acting to me was just reading the script. If you're supposed to be mad, you're brown in the scene. You're supposed to be happy or smile. So that's what I come to being an actor. And I learned to sing and play the guitar on a little farm back in Ohio. My mom and dad both played guitar. So I had three sisters, and invited four guys over one girl would have square dance. And it's my whole life has been around that part of it. I never thought when I was young like that I'd ever be in the picture business, but I'm very thankful. But I've been.
Did you have any goals when you started the group that, other than obviously putting some food on the table? Was getting into movies something that you thought might happen?
No, we were just trying to make a buck.
You always like music.
It's hard to, huh?
You always like music,
Oh,
even
I
as a
always
child.
liked music, but we didn't just try to make a living. We didn't think we're going to get something big at the top. You know, we just took it to come along and was happy with what we were getting. And we worked hard. We worked a lot of shows and rehearsed. We'd rehearse all day long. We learned all those songs. None of us could read music. We learned the songs and had the letters printed out on a piece of paper. The capital letters on the typewriter. And I got my old library in the museum down in Victorville. And it's about this high, but it's got all the old songs in it. We learned back in the day.
Tell them how you started with Sunday Finals. How you started when you ran around the piece of the paper advertising.
Oh, well, I was, first of all, I was out to, my first job was picking peaches over in Tulare, California. And as the picking season was over, I went back home and I just couldn't beg, borrow, or steal it. My sister talked me into going up and getting on this radio station. program every Saturday night called the Midnight Frolic. Anybody can get on. So she sits up there and I'm scared that about 18 years old. And then he announced my name and I froze my seat. I couldn't even get up. She got me the shoulder by the shoulder and said, now you get up and sing. So I got up and I guess I sang. To this day I don't remember what song I sang. I was scared. But they took my name and address and I could get out of there fast. About 3 days later I got a phone call from a fellow. Said, I heard you on the radio the other night. Said, I have a group I'd like to get tonight. Yeah. Rocky Mountaineers. 1930. And this was 1932. And so I joined them. And during the next, Bob Nolan, we ran an ad in the paper, and Bob Nolan was a guard, lifeguard down on the beach in Santa Monica. He answered the ad. And Bob and I sang duets together for quite a little while, and we came to the third part. And we got Tim Spencer, Gerald's dad, and three of us, a pioneer trio. And we just stayed together and finally got another break getting on a good station. When the last roundup came out, it was a very popular song. It was played on a big network radio, and we made a good arrangement. Bernie Milligan, he was a writer on Examiner. He recommended certain shows, you know. And he said, anybody want to hear the arrangement of the last roundup, you know, on a pioneer trio or something. And then they started listening to us. So I started getting a lot of offers in different places. And that's how that particular started.
I have a question. You started off with a certain kind of music. Country western music has changed quite a bit since when
Well, it's
y'all
like
first
everything
started.
else, everything changes.
Is it good or is it bad? Or what do you feel about the...
Well, it depends on what you like. No, I listen to, people talk about that to me all the time. I listen to the Nashville Network all the time. And I know a lot of those guys, and I've seen them come on as just little young guys. All of a sudden they're 20 or 21 years old and they're singing up the farm and they've got records on the market, especially today. And it's been that way. They became famous when they started making personal appearances. Today we probably got more good country singers than we've ever had because they followed up people that were successful in earlier days and got their own style, maybe changed a little bit. Either get a little more corny or not quite as corny or something, but their own personality. And that come through with people like they bought the record, didn't they? Bought mine or back then.
Mr. Roger?
Roy, may I make a positive statement relative to the question that was asked as to whether you thought 60 years later you would have done everything you've done. My name's Alvin Davis. I'm from Lubbock, Texas. I'm the incoming president of this organization.
Oh, I see.
I was at the Texas Centennial in 1936 as an 8-year-old
Oh, is that
to
right?
see the Sons of the Pioneers. I knew you were going to be great, and I still feel today the same way, and the prospects for this music of ours is absolutely unlimited at this point in time.
This is for you and for Rex Allen and also your lovely wife Dale. You've made a lot of Western movies over the years that you were there. Can you give us your thoughts in comparison to today's Westerns that we are viewing, like on television and so forth, as compared to what you did?
Well, I always say some of them I always don't even trigger to watch it. That was a different time. See, we made pictures for the family and the kids. And we left the bad words out of it once in a while you hear a damn or so. Most of the time it was all put out, that type of stuff. And we were very short on killing people. We would beat the heck out of them and send them to jail, but we never had blood scattered all over the street and stuff like this. And that's the difference of then and today. They kill more pictures in the first 10 minutes of pictures today than they get in 10 years.
When you made your films and did the singing, how often did you record it as you shot it?
as opposed to lip syncing? Did you ever record the singing live while they were
Some
rolling
of
cameras?
them depend on what was going to be in the picture.
The logistics.
Uh-huh.
They could control the sound inside the building if the song that we had to be singing inside. But if it was outside, they had so much trouble with the airplane noise going by and everything. It stretched it. Cost us a big thing.
And when you recorded your records, did you usually do first take, lay it down, and we're done and move on?
Do what?
Did you usually catch the first take, second take, or did you spend, like sometimes when people record nowadays to make what they call great music, they'll spend a year making an album?
I don't think companies I work for, they just have money to spend it. They hooked up back in the early 30s. It was hungry out in a lot of places. And they, like our company that I signed up in 37, I think they mostly ever spent on my pictures those days. Like 150,000.
He's talking about recording. He's talking about recording.
Records, yeah, records. Well, the record business is basically the same thing. I think it's, do you know anything different on?
Through the 50s.
Oh, well, today they have, they'll take, like my son will take 6 months to an hour. And send it to engineers over here to fix that, fix it. We go in, I did an album in 3 hours.
You know what's They're so deprived that way that when you go out and do a personal appearance, you don't have all of that science behind you. And they think, how come you don't sound like you did on the record?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, you can't ever. With the digital stuff now, they can take your voice and say you hit a flat note, they can pull it up right on pitch and straighten you out.
So you do a personal appearance, you hit it flat and say he's flat.
I'd like to make one statement for the young lady who asked the question. And I think it's a misconception that a lot of people who aren't familiar with this type of music makes, is they lump country and western together. And there's a big difference between country and a big difference Western music has not changed over the years. Tumbling Tumbleweeds and Cool Water are just as hot a number now as they ever were back in the 30s. And the music has got anything better. Western music has gotten better, and only because of the fact that the recording abilities now are better. But the people that do it, that sing it, are just as quality today as they were in the 20s, and their writing is just as good, and if not better than today. So Western music has come a long way. Country music's gone the other way. And that's a statement from Roy Jr., not everybody here, but I think Western's right there.
I have a quick question for Dale. Dale, I'd be interested in how you guys started coming to Tucson. And they're playing at the Triple C Ranch.
Well, we, back in 1984, we came for just like a 10-day stretch, you know, and we had real good crowds, and Chuck Camp, who was the owner of the Triple C at the time, said, what would you like, maybe we can fill April. So we said, well, we'll give it a try. And so this coming December 31st, we'll be doing our 10th year. And it's been working out fine. So we winter here in
Happy trails to you till we meet
Good.
All right, I'm done.
Okay, now,
Please, everybody back up, please. Yeah, let's get a couple of you guys there. John, Sonny, move in front of Roy just a little more. Gary, move over in front of Dale just a little bit. That's great. Rusty, move in tighter. I can't see. Don't talk so much. I can't see Billy Armstrong. There we go.
Get him a box.
Yeah, come in on point of looser shoulders there, Rusty. Right over here.
That's good.
All right, guys. This is for posterity's sake right now. Let's do it again. Here we go. Right now. One more for me. Right. Everybody smiling. Red. There you go. Thanks, Mike.
Billy, move in a little bit.
And Dave, just stay there for one more and dismiss.
That out.
Okay. This is Mr. Wesley Tuttle, one of the greatest all-time singers of all time. He was the second recording artist signed for Capitol Records back in the 1940s. And the I think it's 46, 47, the two biggest songs of all time. One called Detour, There's Muddy Road Ahead, Detour. I also had the first #1 hit for A Cup Rose Publishing Company out of Nashville, Tennessee, called Tears in My Eyes. And I'd like to present you Wesley Tuttle. Oh yeah, anyway, Wesley Tuttle, you owe me $50, okay, that's right. I'll always owe you. That's right. But this guy's a legend in his own time, and it's a shame that today that some of the younger people do not recognize the name of Wesley Tuttle, which is unfortunate. And he retired from the business or went into the ministry around 1954, 55. So therefore, he's been out of the business a long time. However, he's kept very close association with Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, Sons of the Pioneers all these years. Close personal friends, they visit quite a bit. Wes is a super guy. And we're glad to have Wesley here for the I think we're the 6th annual Western Music Association Festival. This is Wesley Tuttle.
Hi, Wes.
We're just going to make a round, see what you say. You doing good? Yeah.
I hummed his song a million times. He's so kind.
How was it?
What